Yo, welcome to the Choppin It Up podcast featuring your boy Jordan.
What up? It's your boy Eric.
And we back at it with a overdue episode.
Yeah, man. We took a little bit of break for the summertime. We had a lot of things going on, but we're back.
We back, and we're super excited to be back, and we have a lot of things to talk about. I feel like since we've been gone, there's been a lot of just good. So that a lot of good stuff just going on with music. Of course, the Cypher. We're gonna talk about that. Just a lot of good music has been out, especially last week, bro.
Yeah, a lot of stuff's been coming up, man. We got the XXL Freshman List dropped while we were gone, and we're not too late to the game. We're about 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're 2 weeks.
2 weeks a week.
It's still
like that.
It's still a little fresh.
Still fresh.
Still fresh. Sure. And I think it's good that we definitely talk about it because I think we both noticed some things that were standing out pretty extreme with the Cypher.
Yeah.
And of course that is just the female presence, bro, in the rap game right now.
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's
like it was really like, I was taken back by how much they were just outshining all of the male artists that they have on the XXL Freshman List.
Yeah.
You got Megan Thee Stallion, and she was just spitting.
Hot
she
girl
was
summer.
Yeah, she's trademarking that.
Yeah.
Like she's getting hers.
Get your money.
Yeah, so like it was really cool seeing that. You got Rico Nasty, Tierra Whack.
Yeah.
And I personally feel like they did a lot better than like 90% of the males that were on the.
I agree.
On the list.
Except YBN, you know what I'm saying? But we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we'll get into that. So awesome seeing this kind of shift in the game where, you have all these female rappers just coming through and just really representing women and, just kind of empowering them to, hey, I can do this too. So it's really cool to see hip hop kind of diversify and just not be so
just male driven, really.
Yeah, male driven and male dominated, because it's usually a genre that is male dominated.
Yeah.
You have your, very rare occasions. You had your Nicki Minaj's. You had Cardi B now. So it was cool. It's cool to see the hip hop kind of diversify.
I honestly I didn't know about any of these artists like Rico Nasty or Tierra Whack when I was first listening to the Cypher. Of course, I knew a little bit about Meg Thee Stallion, but I was like, yo, even Meg she can go, especially with her Cypher, bro.
Oh, dude,
she was just
she
going.
Went in.
She was going. I thought she was probably the best out of that group. I mean, the baby did his thing, but I'm just super impressed, man. And honestly, I'm just like excited for the female rap game to change. Of course, Cardi B, I have my differences with her. She's talented, but I feel like at the same time, like, you didn't really deserve album of the year. I'm sorry, you just didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just like, even an artist that nobody probably not really knows, and I brought her up last year for my like top albums, but like artists like No Name, remember we talked about her?
Yeah, No Name like killing it right now.
Yeah, No Name is like, she's still slept on, and she's independent, so she's really grinding herself. But like rappers like No Name that is just spitting bars, bro. Like I love to see that, because you don't really see that like that anymore. A lot of female rappers are just there for the clout, there for the fame. But
yeah,
No Name is like
we've seen some female rappers out there for the clout.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that video.
So, we just saw something crazy the other week.
I was impressed, man, with seeing Meg Thee Stallion, Rico Nasty, and Tierra Whack and the Cyphers. I personally liked Tierra Whack, even though she did more of a freestyle. Like, they just stopped the beat on site.
It was like more acapella. It was just straight acapella.
Yeah, she just started freestyle. I don't know why they did that, but I like what she was saying. She had one bar, bro, that I was just like, yo, she said Mayweather on you April Fools. Like, of course, the boxer Mayweather on you. Like, that she just had these bars, bro, that I was just like, all right, okay, I see what you're saying now. And of course, Meg Thee Stallion, she had her hit that went out. And I was like, okay, she's just one of those rappers that's going to have their one-hit wonder and then kind of dip.
Yeah.
But when I saw her Cypher and listened to her Cypher, I'm like, bro, she can spit, bro. Like, she can real life spit. And so I'm impressed, man. Like,
yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed with everybody. I kind of knew about some of them, not all of them. I knew about Rico Nasty, Tierra Whack, more than I did Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B and all of them, because I don't really listen to Cardi B like that.
I try not to.
But Rico Nasty, just like super aggressive, super just aggressive. In your face, just like very unapologetic of who she wants to be, and just doesn't
she don't care about nobody.
Yeah, she doesn't like kind of stray away from that, and that's what I really loved about her Cypher too, and that she was just like in your face. She just was spitting in like an crazy amount of bars, and just like she's just so fast.
She's fast, and she's just grinding on it, bro.
Yeah, and Meg Thee Stallion, of course, like once I found her out through the Cypher, like she really impressed me. I was like, whoa.
You know the thing about her, bro? She's so confident in herself.
Exactly,
like, they're super confident, and she just spitting, bro. She was just putting out bars, like it was just like
she was so unapologetic of who she is. Like she was just like,
she was serious,
I'm gonna
bro.
get on this beat, and I'm gonna go in.
And it's crazy because like you would think that maybe she's a little bit nervous because she's with, the Baby and all these other rappers that are all males, and she's the only female one. Nah, bro, she came in there just spitting, bro.
Yeah, I felt like she was right there, like with the Baby, and
the Baby was it. He was going.
Well, and like let's transition into like some of the things that we were kind of like not so much a fan of when it comes to the XXL, and I'll go ahead and just start with Lil Mosey, who I didn't know. I didn't know who Lil Mosey was or anything, but that Cypher did not impress me whatsoever.
Nah, he speaking of confidence, bro, he came out like unconfident.
Yeah, like he was like tripping up.
He calling the beat lame, bro. Like you lame when when the beat's lame.
He tried to pull a Kodak Black back in 2016 when that class was doing their Cypher, and I was just like, no, like it just didn't work for you, man.
And it just didn't go for you, bro.
It just so bad. Like the bars were bad. Like it felt so like he fell on his face, kind of thing.
It was not. Yeah, it was bad. It was real bad. And I was just like, yo, first of all, why are the rappers like this out right now? It just frustrates me, bro. I'm not trying to throw shade at nobody. Like I'm not trying to do none of that. But it's just like, bro, like that's just a waste of like there's other talented people out here, bro, that should be on this freshman list spitting, bro.
Yeah, I feel
that. He just disappointed me like 100%. Like there was no like, oh yeah, he was decent.
Yeah.
It was all like, yeah, bro.
And like I was, I gave him benefit of the doubt. I was like, you know what, maybe he was just kind of nervous about it, and so I went and I looked up his music, and super generic, super like auto-tune crooning, just like don't know what you're saying kind of thing. But it was all like, lean this, lean that, and I was just like, all right, cool. Like I get, like, I'm not trying to. So one thing that I've been hearing a lot from like these younger artists is like, man, like we're like, this is just the new wave, like this is this is what it is. People were kind of hating on the older stuff too back when it was new too, and so like I'm trying to understand newer artists and try to
me too big time.
But at the same time, just like, man, I just don't feel like it's like respecting the craftsmanship that was hip hop, like lyricism, and like what is anybody can have their own definition of what hip hop is to them, but like to me it's just like having those lyrics, being someone that brings like a story or is just very real and transparent, and just uses hip hop as a way for that. But like I just feel like it's so generic and so pop, and it just,
because like I think about this all the time, man. Like when I try to listen to a new artist, I try to come in with like just no expectations, just listen to the music and see where it brings you. I have a lot of friends that they have their kind of their thing of music or their hip hop or rap, and I'm very old school, bro. Like I like lyrical content. I like somebody bringing me through a story. That's why I respect Kendrick and J. Cole so much. And it's like when I hear rappers like Lil Mosey or Blueface, like all these dudes that are just saying stuff just to say it. Yeah, Gunna, like just to say stuff. I'm like, this is not hip hop to me, bro. This is just like talking.
Yeah, it's like and like Gunna didn't even show up for his freestyle or cypher.
Yeah.
And so I was like, but at the same time I was like, I didn't really feel like I missed out on anything, because so I checked out his music and it just sounds like a Young Thug ripoff, and it sounds like, it's just, I couldn't understand what he was saying. And I'm saying just because I don't understand what he's saying that it's not good, because there's definitely other artists. There's artists from other countries that are, speaking in their native language, and I don't understand, but it doesn't mean it's bad. But still, like, it's just, it felt like it was just so drowned in auto-tune. I don't know what it is, but like this new wave of like everybody has this crutch where auto-tune is, if they don't have it, they sound terrible.
Yeah, no, they sound horrible because that's just not them, really. Auto-tune is kind of going. It
should be like used.
It's like a crutch right now.
Yeah, bro. Like
for a lot of artists.
I think back of like T-Pain, who used it as like something for like just to add to on top of the music. Like he used it as a tool. He didn't really need it.
People depend on it now.
T-Pain is actually a phenomenal singer.
Yeah.
And so like just using it as a crutch like this, I just feel like you're not playing the long game.
Yeah.
Because like this style of music is gonna go out this trap like just auto crooning thing where it's like it's all sounds the same. And I did try to listen to a couple of different tracks. Like I wasn't just like gonna go off of one because like maybe it's different.
Maybe it's different for everybody.
And they just kind of all blended together. I felt like there was no difference in the beats and the production style of it. And I get it, like that's your style, but
it's not. It's not
for me.
Yeah, it's not
for me.
Yeah, it's not for me. And I had to tell people like, look, bro, hey, it might be for you. I respect it, but it's just not for me. And I'm gonna always speak my realness about it.
Yeah,
I know
for sure.
I feel like I know what sounds better than what doesn't. And I'm not trying to say I'm an expert. I'm not. But let's just keep it real, bro. Like a lot of these dudes that were even on this freshman list, I'm just disappointed.
YK Osiris. Yo, the homie came into Cypher singing.
That boy was trying to croon on us, bro. He always trying to sing he was trying to sing on us. I'm like, nah, I don't.
And so like,
it's not good.
One thing, and I was telling Jordan that I went back and I listened to music from every single artist so that I could come away very unbiased from what their performance was on the cypher, and that I could hear, maybe in their element what they sounded like. And honestly, like their cypher gave a very good kind of representation of their music.
Oh yeah. That was kind of like their description of, okay, this is who I am.
Yeah.
Check me out.
It was because like YK Osiris, even on his own music, still sounds kind of.
Does he do like a lot of singing on his stuff?
Oh, it's all singing.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's all like he's like out here trying to be like Chris Brown or something.
Okay.
Tory Lanez, something like just like, but it just didn't feel genuine. It felt very overly produced. You know what? You know that feeling like whenever like it's just everything is too clean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I don't. That's not my style. I don't really, like that. But another person that was on there is Comethazine. Yo,
that boy sound like he about to kill somebody.
Yes, this dude has this like act where he's like
just a name, bro.
Just insane, just psycho.
Yeah, I was scared. I was honestly, bro. I was like, I was scared.
I watched one of his music videos, and it was just so weird. And
I ain't even trying to do that. I don't want to
like. I don't want to. Very much has that like psycho vibe. Like I'm kind of like. I feel like he takes a little bit of that like ruthlessness that was like 3 6 Mafia.
Yeah.
Like all that like very dark and nitty gritty stuff. Yeah, like 21 Savage, kind of like. So kind of felt where he was going with his stuff. Roddy Ricch did okay. I felt like it was very,
he was just like average to me.
Yeah, like he was like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I was like
I was like, cool, you can.
Yeah, I was like, cool, you can do a little song, but like.
But it wasn't impressive.
I'm not gonna play you like that.
Now, YBN Cordaes though. YBN Cordaes.
Honestly, bro, he needs to just like. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but he needs to take the YBN off and just call himself Cordaes. I think that sounds icy, bro. I'm just saying, bro.
I was like, man, why is it like? But watching these interviews and him talking about it, and I understand the brotherhood he has with these kids, and like they kind of made themselves together. But like, he even in the interviews when they're like, hey, I've heard people talk about like you should take the YBN off. He's like, no, I can't. Like, that's still.
I respect it. Yeah.
That's still my bros. Like, that's that's I still go home to these dudes.
Yeah, it's kind of like remember where you came from. Like,
exactly.
Where you first started.
Such a humble dude. Like every interview, like the way he speaks and carries himself, like it was very refreshing for me to hear someone his age kind of just be very, very humble and very like
real.
Thankful. Yeah, very real about everything. Like which kind of leads me to talking about he dropped an album last week.
The Lost Boy.
And wow.
That album, man. This was the album that I'm honestly just shocked that he released, bro. Cause I was telling Eric this too. And a lot of my friends, I'm like, yo, I was not expecting this from YBN Cordaes.
Yeah.
Like, I when I first just kind of like you know like when you look at somebody, you're like, okay, I feel like you're gonna be like this certain person or cocky or whatever. I was like, he's gonna seem like he's gonna be like a typical YBN artist, doing this thing. But I'm like, this dude is really different, and I was like, okay, let me just see where this takes me. And so I remember we were watching that music video that he did with Chance for his song.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, now I'm really starting to see what he's really about, like what his lyrical content is going to be like. And he just keeps it real, bro. And this was the album that I'm just super like thankful for, to be honest with you, because honestly, it should be able to humble you in any aspect of your life, to where, look, yeah, I have my fame, I have my riches, but let's not forget to where I came from, bro. I was once a lost boy, to where I had no money. I was doing drugs in college, and I was going to college, but I was working a job at a fast food restaurant, and I was struggling, bro. And now he reached his fame, but he doesn't forget to where he came from. And I think this album this is the perfect like generation album, because I think it really teaches us, like, look, like, hey, yeah, we can accomplish our dreams, we can get to where we want to go, but let's not forget where we came from.
Yeah, I just love the way that this album is structured, the way that it was just set up. It kind of takes you through the story of, where he came from, just kind of him, the struggles that he has in his life, and he was very transparent. Even on that song, like Family Matters.
Yeah.
Talked about some very, very personal stuff.
Yeah, man.
And just was very open about it. And like, he wasn't open about certain struggles he went through in a corny way.
Yeah.
It was very just like the way he was able to have these similes and metaphors, and just the wordplay, and just the way he was able to paint this picture of like this guy who was really struggling.
Yeah.
And to know who he was.
It's almost like he doesn't, like, I remember watching The Breakfast Club, and he was talking about how they asked him about the song Family Matters, and he was like, hey, honestly, like, I just don't want to talk about it. Like, that's how deep it was to him, because he knew that, like, even though I put this song out, it's still that one song that really just continues to like stab him in the heart.
Yeah,
bro.
he's talked about how he wrote that song crying on the plane.
On the plane, yeah.
Like, it really was, the things he says in that song are not light.
No.
In any sense of the way. Like, I very much like grew in respect, after listening to this, after seeing the interviews. Like, this kid just has so much potential to be one of the greats.
I think so.
Like, it really, really like blew me out of the water.
21 years old, bro.
Exactly. And so like, he has so much left, and I love the way he talks about things, how he's like, man, I don't care about first week's numbers because I'm playing the long game.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to be doing this for the next 15, 20 years. Like, I don't want to just, burn out and just put out something that's going to be popping for, a week. It's like, cool, you have #1 album, but then whatever, they forget about you. And I think that way of thinking is definitely something that his generation needs. Is thinking in long-term wise, not thinking of the immediate gratification of, he talks about social media, how
he was on that social media stuff.
Oh, man, I love that bar he has about, he says, everybody want to be Instagram famous, and because nobody want to be nameless. And it's just like, man.
Yeah.
Like,
and he talked about how it's frying our brains, bro.
Yeah, how like we're so obsessed with
false reality, man.
Yeah, showing people, hey, he even talks about it, how he kind of fell into it in the beginning too, of how he would, take pictures of him on a plane that he honestly had gotten for free on a buddy pass. Was staying at his uncle's couch and just claiming that he was, just
living his best life.
Yeah, living his best life, but really he was broke.
He was broke.
He was eating ramen.
Just like that song, broke is,
Yeah, so exactly.
Yeah.
But
I
love it.
Yeah, I love this album, man. This is the album, man, that I'm not trying to rush anything, bro. We'll do our top 10 albums of the year later on, but this is This is gonna be on there. I think. Honestly,
I think so too,
we'll
bro.
see. There's still a
I
lot
have
more.
listened to this album over and over
Yeah.
and over since it came out.
Yeah, this is like one of my favorite albums of the year so far, man. And I can't wait to continue to listen to it. There's still a lot of interviews that I have not seen from him that I'm going to check out. But I'm just super impressed with this dude, man. So young, so humble, so real. And I just hope he doesn't change, bro. I hope the industry doesn't, especially the label, bro. They on the label, they just try to get you into a bubble, and they just don't want to get you to expand. But I just hope that he stays in that tunnel vision focus, and he does his thing to where he keeps everything real and doesn't kind of go off into another person that he's not, because that can happen.
Yeah, and but I feel like he has a really good head on his shoulders, and the way he just carries himself, and I think the game he's getting from a lot of these older cats, like he talked about how he was actually doing stuff with Dr. Dre, and like that's rare too. Like you don't just get that,
bro.
Like even Anderson .Paak talks about how he doesn't just record with anybody. Like he won't do that. Like if he doesn't like you, he won't do anything. And he was talking about, he's just like, I was just listening, taking everything in, because he, if anybody, he should know like the game better than anybody.
Absolutely.
And so like it was really awesome, just hearing him say how much he appreciates the people that came before him, and how much he's trying to be this positive influence on the newer generation, and like how he doesn't be anybody. He's not trying to be anybody else but himself.
He's just trying to be himself, bro. And when the album started, bro, this is when an album is going to good, when it just starts off so powerful. A song like Wintertime, when he's just talking about his road to just being famous, but also to realizing to where he is now, man, like where he was before was just tough, bro. Waiting tables, giving customers extra fives because he was just trying to be a blessing to him. He was trying to get his tip too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he's giving people extra fries, but his struggle with Xanax, bro, was pretty evident in that song, bro.
Yeah, he talks about how he was using Xans for his anxiety, and how he kind of fell into that trap of like he felt like he was a zombie a lot of the time, and he was able to kind of pull himself out of it and just stop doing a lot of this stuff that was kind of putting him on a bad path, honestly, kind of going the same route that most of his peers were going, and it's cool to see that. It's cool to see that he speaks out about these things, but he does it in a way where it doesn't glorify it. It puts it on this place of like, these things are not good for you. Yeah,
he talks about that a lot, how he is not trying to glorify doing all these drugs. Like it's a fun thing. It's a recreational thing. He talks specifically about, hey, I went through this. I'm not doing this again. Taking Xanax was like making me a zombie, bro. Like it was making me a person that I'm not, and that we need to understand that hey, look, a lot of these rappers might be doing all these drugs, but there's nothing cool about it. There's nothing real about it. You just stop doing it. And so I appreciate songs like that, man. It puts everything into perspective about really how he's really just trying to tell people, man, look, I did this, but I'm not trying to glorify it at all, And so I love that song, man. Of course, Have Mercy, that was his first single. I mean, that's a banger, a typical radio banger. He was doing his thing. Bad Idea, bro, featuring Chance the Rapper. Again, that one song that really
vibes.
Yeah, that song is. But it's crazy how he was talking about, just imagine that he would never come home again because he's gonna be out doing his thing and really just experimenting out on life. But then the next song is Thanksgiving, where he's back home. You know what I'm saying? See how that transition was like really like important, because he talks about his life away from home, like, man, what if I never come home again? And then Thanksgiving, like, I'm back home, my family. That's just, I like that transition.
And it was so cool, and like, I love how he paints the picture on Bad Idea. Oh, like, man. It's so nostalgic.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't even know what I'm nostalgic about, but it just feels like something about it just pulls me back to some time, like when I was a kid for some reason. And I don't know why it just does it, but it's so cool how it does it. And then when he transitions into Thanksgiving,
I love that beat.
Like,
oh my gosh,
it's just so cool how he was just so open and vulnerable about bringing his girl to Thanksgiving and how it was like it was like a little cheesy, but in the way it was nice. I liked it.
All the family's gonna be there for Thanksgiving, so that's gonna be tough.
Yeah, and then like him coming back with all this, he's not the same kid that left out of this place. Like now he's got money. Now so it's like it was really cool seeing that.
Yeah,
really cool seeing that transition happening.
I love that transition. I love it.
And then we go into R&P. Featuring Anderson .Paak, which, oh my gosh, I've listened to the song on repeat so much.
And who produced it, bro?
J. Cole.
J. Cole out here making beats on him, boy.
Go ahead, dog. It's crazy because
go ahead, bro.
As someone had asked him, like, hey, did you consider having J. Cole on your album? He's like, no, man, I just felt like he needed to produce a track, like he needed to make a beat. I feel like that's rare.
Yeah, that's rare.
Of J. Cole giving a beat than him being on the track. So I was like, dude, you got Anderson .Paak, you got J. Cole producing it. How can it not be a hit?
That's super special, bro. To have J. Cole, man, producing, as well being in the studio to give him advice on stuff.
Yeah.
To be a mentor to him, to YBN. And you got Anderson .Paak. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, like the way they recorded that was at the Pack House in his Beats One studio.
Yeah.
They were actually going back and forth on a mic like this.
Yeah, I heard that. That's dope, bro.
I was just like,
sounds good too.
Yeah, and I was just like, what? Like they were in the studio.
I would love to.
I love the energy they had they were feeding off of each other.
Yeah,
and you just don't see that now.
You don't. And this song really was just transitioning, man, to just the fame starting to kind of be in a clear-eye view, really, and him talking about having those rich problems, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Having that money is looking good, and you're like, oh, bro, I have some money now. Like, I can really buy what I want or do what I want. But let's just kind of keep it humble.
Yeah,
there's still some problems with being rich. So it's crazy how the transition, bro, from rich problems to broke his, you know what I'm saying? Like, it broke his frick. Yeah. It's like, hey, man, I had my money, but hey, it can all be gone in an instant.
Yeah,
now I'm broke.
Throws it back to, when his mom would have to, scrape up some money to get them food. Talking about, like, it just, it was humbling to hear him talk about, I didn't always got money, we struggled hard, and talking about eating ramen, like, the contrast of like having rich people problems to being broke, like, it's so contrasting, and you hear it.
I love it.
You hear it in the songs.
So he talks about that, and going from that to 1,000 Words. I personally, this is probably like my favorite record on the album, one of my favorite at least, and he really talks about social media, how it's just this platform where people are just so dependent on it, and it's really just a false reality, like we talked about. Like, it's frying people's brains, bro. It's just not good, bro.
Yeah, but he does talk about how
it's important too, though.
How social media can be used as a tool. That's true. How it can be good, but
it depends on that person.
Like, the way that we are treating it, it could be so bad because all these people are trying to get their 5 minutes on social media and like blow up and go viral, and everybody's clout chasing on there. Everybody's trying to get their 5 minutes of fame, doing crazy stuff. And like he talks about that. He talks about how everybody wants to be like I said earlier, everybody wants to be Instagram famous because nobody wants to be nameless. Yeah. And it's just like, man, that's such a bar. Because like,
a bar, bro.
Like, honestly, if everybody is real with themselves, everybody kind of has a little bit of that craving of like, man, I don't really want to be nobody.
Yeah, and it goes from that to, oh man, how come I don't have all these certain likes or followers, and it just gets to all these details. Yeah,
and you get caught up on all that extra stuff that isn't necessary.
It's not important, and so I'm glad that he talked about that, because that's super relevant, especially in our generation, man, to where some people just care about certain small things like that, and it's just not healthy, but it can also be a blessing as well. And so from that to Way Back Home, featuring my man Ty Dolla $ign with the features, bro. Man,
his feet, like, I'm gonna say this every single time, his features are fire. His own songs are always
trash.
Yep, trash.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't know why, but
I agree.
No, that we can go on.
Yeah,
that's a tangent.
Yeah, we can go on that, but he talks about his just finding his way back home again. he's experimenting in life right now, bro. He's going through a journey, man, of just being away from home, being in college and coming back home and really missing home. This is when I really felt like reality was really setting in pretty strong.
Yeah, I feel like this song, he's kind of like he's gotten there, like he's finally reached like a place in his life where he's like, man, I made it, and like kind of home is kind of like far, kind of far from him, and kind of, you know, he's trying to think back of like home, and he's getting homesick a little bit, and he's realizing how far back it really is.
Yeah.
So it was cool, man. It was cool, just, you know, kind of him going through these processes and showing the emotions of like him trying to get there and him finally getting there, and now he's just kind of like, man, it's crazy.
And then that record was like, okay, I see what you're trying to do now. I see what he's taking this, because he goes from that to Been Around, when he talks about him taking risk and living spontaneous, which led to his fame. He was taking risks, bro. He was doing whatever he can to reach to where he wanted to go. It was a very real record to me. He really explained what he had to go through to reach his fame. It wasn't like he was like an overnight success, you know. He was grinding, putting out music, doing a lot of freestyles and stuff that he had to get out of his comfort zone to reach. But Been Around really just talks about, again, the reality of reaching your dreams and accomplishing them, but it's not easy at all. And I love that about him. And then he goes from that to Nightmares Are Real featuring Pusha T, which I'm still trying to like get into this record. Again, I talked to you about, like, I'm just not the biggest Pusha T fan. I didn't really care for his verse, but I respect this song because he talks about just the nightmares and dealing with the demons, man, that you have to deal with when it comes to his process, or even in life, man. We have our issues or whatever. We had to deal with a lot of stuff.
A lot, you know, where they come from, where they started on this, like, you know, a lot of these demons come back to haunt you. People
start to see what you're doing. They start to see you changing. They're like, oh, okay, let's go.
Get magnified, man. You're under a magnifying glass.
Yeah. And so that's a record that I'm starting to respect a little bit more now. I'm like, okay, look, nightmares are real, man. Like, this is a real reality. And so another record that's pretty good. And also Family Matters. I love this record. I mean, talked about when he was broke, had his granny cash, money granted him money. Another real record, bro.
Talks about like his aunts, like the family situation that some of his cousins are dealing with. Like, it's so transparent. Like, we don't hear this even in like other genres of music or other artists that are older. Like, you don't hear people talking about, you know, your aunt's taking care of, you know, 2 other kids that aren't hers because the baby daddy, like, of these kids, like, he isn't in the picture, doesn't want to be, like, you know, talking about being so broke that his grandma had to feed him and like give him money through MoneyGram. Like, who talks?
Nobody says that, man, because they don't want to be.
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. Yeah, but he explains, man, like, hey,
but it's so humbling though.
And that Family Matters.
Yeah.
I mean, the song is just. I mean, the name of it is just pretty self-explanatory. Like, family is important, man. I don't care who you are. I don't care if there's some things that going on with certain family members. Like, it's important because they're like the backbone of everything, bro. They keep you, you know, that's where everything came from. Your mom raised you, your dad raised you. It's important that we realize that our family is important, and he talks about that pretty deep in the song. And so I love that record, bro. Another real record, man. Another real song, man. That, again, this album was just a bunch of realness.
Yeah, it was just so transparent. I loved everything. Love the journey he takes us. I kind of felt like I kind of got to know him better through it, and like it was awesome. I just loved everything, and we're not done yet. There's still 2 more tracks.
2 more. We gonna make it, featuring Meek Mill, another one that's real. Like, this just keeps it real. Talking about he could have died on the pavement, but being tired of chasing his dream, but he still was gonna chase it. Like, there's always some times where we want to chase our dreams and we're like, bro, I don't even think we can reach it, bro. Like, there's just no way. It's too hard. But he talks about, hey, look, there were some times where I didn't think I was gonna make it, but he still chased it, you know.
Yeah.
And I think this is that record that talks about that.
Yeah, I just love how kind of upbeat this album ends, and I love the way that he just kind of gives us this like little glimpse of like, man, it's gonna be good. Like, if I made it, you're gonna make it. Like, you just got to continue that grind, continue to be motivated and be consistent and just show up, man. And I love the way that Meek Mill just kind of comes through and just kind of emphasizes that, because when I think of Meek Mill, I do think about someone that, you know, went through it and is out here just doing his best to prove himself that, you know, that he is someone of influence that is trying to make a difference in the community, and that is trying to show like, hey, if I can make it through the struggles that I went through, you know, being in prison for, you know, reasons that he really shouldn't have been in prison for and stuff like that. So like, I think I just loved it. I love the way that he had this feature for this song. I think just talking about in general, the features he had on every single track that he had features on just meshed so well. They were like their element.
It wasn't too much, but it wasn't like he had nobody. It was a good amount of people that honestly I feel like gave him a lot of good inspiration, helped him, you know, just really just talk to him about music and life. And I think this was that album that was just super incredible, bro.
Yeah.
And even with Lost and Found, the last one, I ain't gonna lie, I wish it could have ended better. I wasn't the biggest fan of this song. I feel like it should have been We Gonna Make It as the last song and then Lost and Found before it. But whatever, it's cool. It ends on a high note, like you said. It ends on a song that keeps you upbeat. I was looking for more like, you know, hey man, this is where I'm at now. I'm thankful. Like kind of like that thankful song. Like this is your first album, bro.
Like to me, like he just kind of ends it braggadocious. Like, man, we're out here. Like we're gonna party. Like I'm excited about life. Like let's just like party. Let's just have fun. And that's how I felt like. That's how I felt like he ended it. Yeah. He just wanted to end it on a light note. Wanted to end it upbeat, braggadocious. Just like, hey man, like let's just do this. Let's just go all out. Yeah. So, you know, but I feel that, you know, I feel the whole thing of like We Gonna Make It could have been exchanged for Lost and Found. Those two could have been interchangeable, but
just saying, you know, it's all good.
It's, you know, overall, just the structure of the album is perfect.
It meshed well together. I give it a 9 out of 10. What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 too. Okay. Just because, like, I feel like he still can give us something.
Oh yeah, I'm still better. Like, I still need
But like, as far as like enjoyability, to me, like, this is a almost perfect album.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Definitely 9 out of 10 is easy for me.
Yeah. And that can easily be a 10 out of 10 with more listens and more. Just listening to it. And
like enjoyability for me, it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But like overall, like, you know, just the structure, the musicality, everything else, like I feel like, you know, looking at it kind of unbiasedly, I think it's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. I was doing a lot of research. I try not to do this, but I was just wondering like what other articles were talking about it. And I saw someone gave it like a 7 out of 10, and I read some of like the main reasons why, and they were saying how this was kind of like a album to where it had some good content, but it was like corny in a sense. Again, kind of like that braggadocious type vibes, but still kind of kept it real, but then it kind of went back to corny and kind of cheesy. I'm like, okay, I can see maybe 1 or 2 songs that had that, but I'm like, you know, he's 21 years old, number one. That's super young. But it's like I see more of a person that is growing into his own.
Yeah, and to me, like, I look at this and I look at, you know, hip hop as a whole right now, where we're at in the state of it. Like, to me, this stands out like hard. Yeah. It stands out from every of the newer artists. It stands out even from some of the, you know, current big names. It stands out. Like, to me, this is a better project than Drake's Scorpion last year.
Oh, you about to get fired up?
Like, every day of the week, I would argue that.
I would too. I ain't gonna lie.
Like, the production on it, the direction it took, the realness, the lyrics. I mean, just the lyrics themselves.
Hey, I'll tell you that it's not better than the Logic album.
Okay. We're officially done.
Hey, do you pick this album over Schoolboy Q's album?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
I like enjoyability. Probably, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, like, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. For sure. Like, I for sure enjoyed this listen more than I did.
I'm just playing about the Logic comparison. I'm not Logic's album was
You know,
trash.
He's actually touring with Logic.
YBN is?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's coming to Irving.
And JID too.
Yeah. And
I'm mad.
I know, bro. you're telling me. I saw that he was coming, and I was like, yo, I gotta go see YBN Cordaes.
So logical there.
And so then I clicked on it, and then I saw like who's headlining, and I'm like, man, I ain't gonna pay all this money to go not see the main act.
Man, just watch YBN and JID and then do it, bro.
Honestly,
I mean, you would do that too.
I would 100%. Like, I'm not trying to go see.
No, bro. Here's the thing. You know, bro. You already know Logic gonna do some of his old joke, like his
Yeah,
old
he's
song.
gonna do some, but
Then you gonna hear I'm ice. You gonna be out that feast, boy.
I'm gonna hear I'm icy, and I'm gonna be running out of that place so fast. Cannot stand. Plus, I don't know. It's apparently it's a dangerous mind tour or something like that. So I'm sure he's doing that album.
Yeah,
I might sprinkle in some of his older stuff. I'm like,
he's gonna do that whole album, bro.
No,
he's gonna do that whole album. So, man, if you guys haven't listened to the YBN album, YBN Cordaes, like this is an album, man, to really listen to really vibe with. I'm super impressed. Still kind of shocked, to be honest with you, because I didn't think he's gonna be that good. But I was like, okay, now he proved me wrong. And again, another new artist, bro, that I'm just excited to like really see where he's gonna take us, to be honest with you. I'm kind of like at that new artist mode right now, to where I'm just trying to discover so many artists that we might have heard of but hasn't really breaking through that fame. And so broken through that fame. And so I'm super excited, man, to just continue to see where he takes us, man. And so I don't know, bro, like this out, bro. I can't wait to see like what else comes out this year.
Oh man,
this is going to top 10 is going to be tough.
We're having, and I haven't even listened to the new Rich Brian album, which some of those singles he put out were pretty fire.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to Chance's album, but I keep hearing so many disappointing things that I'm scared to listen to it. And then apparently Drake's pulling out some stuff.
Yeah, he released.
What is that?
He released a kind of like a throwback album. A lot of the records that weren't like on the album, he kind of put them in one discography.
Is it like stuff that he had like on his mixtape or something?
Yeah, like
gotcha.
Club Paradise or like 4 p.m. and 3 a.m. or whatever in Calabasas, like his old stuff.
Yeah.
He wasn't really released on like streaming services.
Gotcha.
So stuff like
That's
that.
what it is.
And so people were like super excited though, because like you can only listen
it's
to
good
him
Drake.
Yeah. Just saying.
It's hungry Drake.
Yeah.
It's not
I'm rich, boy.
Man, I cannot stand Scorpion.
Yeah, Scorpion is.
Anyways,
so I mean, I'm again, The Lost Boy. That's an album to check out. I'm gonna listen to it like once I leave, and just continue to vibe it throughout the month and the year, really. And I'm just super excited, man, just to see where he takes this. But also, I'm just super excited to see what else is coming out this year.
Yeah, me too.
Because Kendrick, bro, release an album like next week, please, like something.
And we didn't even talk about, because we weren't here.
Oh,
we
Dreamville
didn't talk about Revenge of the Dreamers.
I feel like it's
It's too late. It's too late.
Yeah, it's too late.
We're late to the game, but I will say that it was overall satisfying.
It was satisfying. That documentary really helped me.
Oh yeah, it was so good.
That was perfect. I wish it was longer, but it was perfect because it kind of just like,
you gotta see a glimpse of. Cause it was just so cool seeing all these different artists and different producers.
They're living in a studio for like what, 10 days?
Something like that. Like it was the coolest thing ever to see all of these people interact and just be so like genuine of like, man, I'm just trying to hop on this song real quick. They got Buddy over here trying to be on every single song.
Bro, Buddy is my guy, bro. Buddy has
bro, I was laughing so hard.
Bro, Buddy is like that Energizer Bunny, bro. Like he is like just a person that just has so much energy. You can be in the worst mood, bro. He'll just like bring you up because he's just so like energized, bro.
For sure.
That's my guy, bro. Buddy is like that dude. So, but I was excited to see him getting some play. Like, I know he's still kind of like new and everything, but to see J. Cole like really recognizing him. And I don't know if you remember that song, but like J. Cole was rapping and like Buddy like cut him off. You remember that song?
Yeah.
Like Buddy was like talking and like, hey, J. Cole like stop or whatever. I'm like, bro, like that's a big deal.
Chill out.
Bro. Yeah, that's a big deal. Like, chill out. But nah, bro, I was that.
It was cool, man. It was cool,
album.
man. It was just cool seeing like the different parts of Dreamville just kind of showing their thing, you know, because it wasn't like all rapping. It was they had some R&B joints on there.
Oh yeah, bro.
They had some slow stuff. They have some party stuff. It wasn't all like conscious.
Down bad.
And so it was dope.
JID,
It was dope.
spicy, bro.
So, anyways, that was our unofficial review of
Yeah.
Revenge of the Dreamers.
Yeah. Fortunately, yeah, I wish we could have done one, but it's fine. It's fine.
Cool, man.
all
We're
good.
cool. We got albums coming out.
Yeah, so we appreciate you guys. Again, I know it's been a long time since we put out an episode, but we're not going nowhere. We're still here. We're going to always put out content no matter what.
Yes, sir.
But we love you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we're going to see you guys back again with another one. Hopefully next week. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. All right. Peace.
Peace.
Girl, you got me flying.